Hello and welcome to Sacred Akashic Healing Arts channel. Today we're going to be doing an Akashic conversation and we're going to be getting to know the true source being that is incarnated as Valentina Matthias, who is an international elder, royal Akashic guardian. So welcome, Valentina.
Thank you. It's so lovely to be here. It's a lot to hear for my human self, but I think it's really important that people know and understand the kind of energy that I'm bringing through. And I'm not the only one, but this is my story today. So thank you and welcome, everyone. Mm.
Amazing. So, well, let's just get started, Valentina. As
Let's get into
Dr.
it.
Amir so elegantly put it, who are you, lady?
Wow, who are you, lady? Well, oh my goodness.
I'm never going to tire
Wow. Yeah. Um, that's going to be the catchphrase
Yes.
every time I come on stage that will be played. Um, so, uh, okay, this is big, but it filters down into a human life as well. So I'm the river of life, the creation energy at the very beginning, the time before time, the light before light, the creation before creation. So it's just this beautiful plasma, this silky white plasma that Dr. Amir saw, that I've often seen. And I'm very concerned in this state, if you can imagine this sort of cosmic plasma, silky white, glowing energy with balance and harmony and compassion, and birthing this through into creating many things, universes, and then, our particular experiment of creation right down to what we're doing here on Earth. So I've got interesting things happening all over the place, but essentially, if you think of how at the top of a mountain where the source of the water is, it's very pristine. People often, go looking for that source of water on the planet. In Colombia, the Garden of Eden, where it's all initially come from. And anyway, so you've got the source of water coming down in rivers, and then bigger rivers, and connecting and coming down into the plains, and nurturing and feeding, providing life for community, for Earth. I'm that source river, the beginning there, keeping an eye with my consciousness on everything that's flowing down and creating in the different areas of life that I've created. And I flow it through with balance and harmony and compassion as much as possible. And it's come down here, we have this incredible system in our particular flow of energy that comes down to this planet, is a concept, an experiment from Source that wanted to know what happens if we separate out from Source and have free will. That's what we're dealing with down here in our particular flow. And I have other concepts in other universes. And I know it sounds like a lot, so I'm just laying it out, and take whatever aligns with you, and it's just presenting the information. And then we created, not me specifically, but other creator beings then, after going through light and void and sound and different things, we came to the time where we could come into creating the Akashic system. So a system of wisdom and safe containers to record everything that happens in that flow of the river of life, coming down from the top of the mountain or from creation, before creation. And so another creator being started to create the Akashas. So they come down in this very ordered structure. This is very simplistic, but it starts with the cosmic Akash, and then you have a membrane, and then inside of there and inside of that membrane is the I am energy, and then inside of that is the universal Akash, and then the membrane between the universal Akash and the galactic Akash is the oversoul. So we're coming down to more of the consciousness of what we usually deal with in the Akash that people know of, and then we come down to the galactic Akash, and then the membrane between the galactic Akash and the earth Akash is the higher self, and then the membrane between the earth Akash and our bodies is the earth energy. It's the beautiful nature, being out in nature, and then our soul can be housed in our bodies. So I've actually met the galactic soul, which we might swing back around and talk to, that, or the galactic being part of me that created the Akashas, and asked me, because I came down also not just holding the energy up there as the river of life, but I also come down into consciousness and galactic form and different forms in different universes. And so we were there in the cosmic Akash as light and sound, and he said, I'm going to create more Akashas, and do you want to birth into the earth Akash, into the royal Akashic lineage, and come through that lineage to be able to hold these sacred bodies that we have, that hold our souls, and that the earth Akash holds us and holds all the memories of our journeys and our wisdom and our lifetimes of experimentation and creativity based on the concept of free will. And I said, yeah, I'd love to. Like, it was that simple. Like, yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds like fun.
Okay. Yeah. So he gave me the keys of the Akash that I utilized to teach people about the architecture of the Akashas. And I came through. And then I spent, so in that part of me, because remember, I'm like the river of life. So I've got these little rivers of all sorts of incarnations and life experiences, both here and in other universes and galaxies too.
So if I wanted to give you an honorary title, you would be the river of life.
So that was always meant to be something on the other side, like that people access. And as our family in there, that part of me was just really concerned with learning all about the Akash, keeping it sacred, secure, clean, clear, ordered, available for people when they would come in, that they could access records that they were allowed to access, with ease and grace. And that if people did come in and mess them up a bit, that we would just clean and tidy them, get it all energetically clear, keep the frequency fence around it very strong so that darker energies couldn't come in. So this incredible system of wisdom and storing of wisdom, and a safe place for you at any stage of your development, not just in a human body, that you could go in there and heal and relax and access your wisdom that you might have forgotten, or that you might need to go look at and figure out, like, okay, so I figured out that equation. I think the next step that I would like to have a look at is whatever. And so there's two aspects to that. One, on my personal journey, is that we'll just stick with my personal journey. So in the Akash, when I could see as my river of light self that, and this is where it's not just about me, other people, other energies have done this too, that being an oracle to a human person, wasn't enough, that the earth is still being destroyed by trauma, and darker energies, which is all trauma based, or coming through, but still just coming through very much as human, but having the expanded energy field to be famous and well known and try and wake everyone up or uplift wasn't working. I would end up just being killed or killing myself, like being driven to madness, or becoming very emotionally unstable. Because if water's out of balance, like all those emotional instability. So, as my river of life self, I'm looking at my Akashic energy and thinking, this is the safest architecture we have in this system, in our universe, coming down through. We use it in other universes too, the Akashas. I was like, okay, so I need to come through as me. I need to bring a lot of me through. And it's not a normal human incarnation. And the safest way is to come through with my Akashic DNA.
Your energy structure is absolutely unique. I've never seen anything like this. You've done some cheating, and you know what? Hey, I like it.
Because when we all come through in our human incarnations, we not only have the DNA of our earth lineages, but we bring through soul and galactic DNA from whatever we want in our blueprint, and try and get it through in the most beautiful way possible. And so I had to actually study for quite a long time as my Akashic self in the Royal Akashic lineage, and to ask constantly to go to Earth, because we wouldn't normally incarnate, but we are. I've met other members of my family here on Earth too. So it was a big task, but I managed to come through, and I have a very different energetic structure in my body than anyone else.
Now, somehow I'm not able to see the nature of these energy structures in the body. If there is such a thing as too ethereal. So, first of all, it's not a regular chakra. That's for certain. It's not crystalline either. It's not gelatinous. So this is something different. It has all properties, and yet none of them. The only equivalent that I'm aware of consciously is the divine void, which is all possibilities existing at the same time and infinite energy. And then from that state, one can be chosen, its given energy starts vibrating down into existence. But this is not the void. It's the other thing, the other side of the spectrum. And it's not regular light either. This is something I have never come across before. And it is spectacular. So that is the nature of the energy structure inside the human body. I have no idea how you managed to bring this into the matrix, but it's very, very fascinating.
And other people have done this too. I have met others in my client base, but also I'm sure there's more that have come through with very unusual structures into their human body, because the larger part of themselves, mine's the river of light, life, other people's are different ones. I just want to respect their privacy, so I'm not going to name what they are or who they are. But what they've decided to do is, instead of channeling through a human aspect of themselves, they've just brought exactly a smaller portion of the bigness of who they are in, because it's got to the stage of, right, this isn't working. It's like, this isn't working on Earth. It's not, like, we're not managing to return Earth to the original creation codes in all the other ways we've tried. So we're just, it's like we're just going to come in well, that's it. I'm coming into a human body myself. I'm going to have to figure this out. It's not the traditional way of incarnation of what comes into a human body. But so there's other amazing big energy consciousnesses that have done that I have met as well, that are waking up and realizing who they are, and that it's unusual for them to be in a human body as well, but they're here because this is what we're here for. We're entering the new earth, and we want to assist and make sure that everything is returned to its correct creation codes, organically, with as much harmony and balance as possible. But of course, there's upheaval involved too, but that's just how it is, because that is part of the creation process too. It's not particularly part of my coding, but it is part of, change. And um, and yeah, that's it. That's what we're doing, and we're succeeding. And does that bring up any questions so far, Corinne?
Answered a few of my questions, but
Okay, good.
that's great. That's great. That came through. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was gonna ask, why come to Earth, but you answered that it is a critical time on Earth, and
yeah,
from your highest consciousness, like you say, a lot of higher consciousnesses are like, now we've got to be down on Earth and bringing in our coding in order to
yeah,
humanity to wake up and
yeah. Because what's happened also that I've seen with a lot of clients is that if they've been attacked in incarnations in the past, and their whatever coding they've managed to bring in, um, it's been separated really successfully, and it hasn't from who they are. Like, they haven't been able to retain it. It's been taken out of the Akash. It's been destroyed, separated, like you'll often hear in the past about when they were killing shamanic men, and wise women, and shamans are also women too. And they'll separate the head from the body. It's to separate the wisdom from the body, and bury it separately. And if it's left for too long, even putting it back together doesn't reunite you with your wisdom. Like, it takes powerful, powerful healers to come and assist with that, which I've also done for people. But that's why a lot of us are coming in with our full strength, because we're like, okay, too much of the wisdom and the wise people have been really thoroughly decimated. So we're going to come in full force now. And of course, my choosing to come through the Akashic line is my perception and wisdom that this is the strongest, safe recording energy of all of who we are in our true creation codes. And it's highly, highly protected area.
yeah.
And it's a little bit like the Holy Grail, where, from in my humble perspective, most people don't really understand the full architecture going right back up to source, which I've explained in a very, very simplistic term. But that's actually quite advanced teaching. But I think it's important for people to get an idea that we have this incredibly beautiful, safe space. Uh, and it's part of my job, coming through my Akashic lineage as my incarnation, starting out as an Akashic healer, waking up to it. I suffered from partly amnesia. Like, I knew who I was, but I didn't know what it was. Like, I knew what I was doing, something unusual, but it wasn't till I grew up that I knew it was the Akash. So bringing it back, teaching people, making it safe, connecting people up to their birthright, has all been part of what I can see as a safe way for me to bring in a lot of who I am, a lot more of who I am than I have in the past, and also to connect people up to this like magnificent architecture of akashas that goes right back to source. Yeah. Any?
You're just answering all my questions.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was afraid I'd be too shy to speak my truth, but It's
Well,
coming out.
amazing. And it actually leads us quite nicely on to actually talking about, you've shown us where you come from, and you've really widened that perspective as well, and talked about why you chose to incarnate as Valentina through the Royal Akashic lineage, and the work that you're here to do with many other beings. Um, so I think it'd be really amazing to talk a little bit more about the legacy that you're here to weave through Sacred Akashic
Oh,
Healing
yes, I
Arts.
would love to. But I also want to talk a little bit about incarnation and the birthing and the pre-birthing process. So I'll swing back round to the legacy of what I'll be leaving, and we can actually channel through from Cosmic Akash for that. Because guess what, guys? We went into the Cosmic Akash before we started, hit the record button. So if you're feeling super harmonious and peaceful and lightheaded, you're welcome. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Um, so is this when you're bringing in unusual energy like what I bring in, and it's not just Akashic. I needed to code into my body through my Akashic lineage, like river of life consciousness, saw a creation before creation, and another amazing creation being that's very connected to the deep, deep ocean consciousness, which I just don't feel like revealing at the moment, because it's still quite precious to me, but another amazing consciousness energy that exists on Earth. Um, and um, and so I was at a amazing retreat with run by Judy Queben in Costa Rica in November last year, where we were there too. And we'd all opened the Akash before going in to, oh, we were doing ayahuasca. And so there I was on my ayahuasca journey, um, and I was in the Akash, and I was asking my Akashic family, my Akashic royal lineage, what they thought of my human family. And they said, we love them, they're amazing. And I'm like, oh, I think there's a few issues. They're like, no, we love them. They're like, they're like, they gave you life, and that was not an easy task with what you had to bring in. And this was before I realized all of who I am. Like I had known, but like not known. If I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, I was like, oh, you mean like Akashic? And they're like, yeah, and the rest. And I'm like, oh, like, and I named the other consciousness, amazing, huge consciousness that I've brought in. Uh, and they're like, yep, and the rest. I'm like, okay, which I now would call the river of life, that I just wasn't naming it before. And they said that was tough. That was really hard and tough to bring in. And you chose a family that gave you life, and you're still alive. And it's really good, strong, physical coding, and we just adore them. We think they're amazing. That is all you wanted. And I was like, oh, wow. So that was really, really beautiful. And then fast forward to like a few weeks or a few months ago, I drive around a lot around the beaches and the cliffs and nature places, do a lot outside. Driving around in my cool little car. And I kept singing this Frankie Valli song, which I might even have the words wrong, but to me the words were, "Oh, what a night, late September back in '63, what a lady, what a night." And it was just so exciting. I felt like I was like viewing it from above and seeing this like the woman of my dreams walk into a room. And it was kind of confusing too, because I'm straight. I'm not interested in women, but this was definitely like a hormonal attractive, like, oh my God, there she is. Oh, tonight's the night. This is going to be amazing. And then I did the calculations because I'm born in July 1964. And I was like, oh, I'm singing to my mother. This is so beautiful. And I feel so happy even talking about it. Like, oh, what a night. Like, this is the night where I'm going to be conceived. This is it. This is where she's going to accept me into her womb. So I just wanted to mention that, before we're born, and no matter the circumstances, I know for some people they have very traumatic conception stories, but our soul is, has made this incredible blueprint with our consciousness, our higher self, our galactic energy, whatever we all come in at different levels of what we want to work out. And we're there like, oh my God, it's going to happen. I'm going to come through. So I just wanted to divert to that, how beautiful that is. Um, and how grateful, to go back to that place, like to be truly, truly grateful that I got to actually have a life and come through. And it wasn't easy. She was sick. I was the sixth child. She was sick in all the pregnancies, and she was particularly ill with me and hemorrhaged and died in childbirth. And they pumped her heart and brought her back to life. And I remember going down the tunnel to where her soul had gone back to talk to her guides. And I could see her, I was observing her, and she, as a baby soul, I was observing, and she was talking to them, and she was saying, I can't do it. I can't. And they said to her, it's not your time, but, you have free choice. If you don't want to go back, you don't have to. And she said, I just, like, she was very depressed. She said, I can't. I'm so depressed. And they pointed to me and they said to her, if you don't go back, that soul doesn't get a life. She won't go back. She's followed you down the tunnel. And so my mum came back, and she lived till she was like 96. Like, once she'd made the commitment, she came back, and she got better. Like, she was a lot happier as life progressed. Um, so like, especially grateful to have my life, because it was so very close to being like, that soul will not get a life if you don't go back, because she's followed you back. So she won't go back unless you go back. So
Well, that's good.
yeah, so that was amazing. So yeah. Uh, okay. So what was the other question? It was
Okay, so Valentina, so obviously your soul is, a master, the river of life, truly unique, and existing in many different universes. But just as we've discussed, you've still got to come into a human body. So even though you're bringing in your coding and you've got a different energetic structure, you've still got to make some compromises to get into the human body. You're still coming in, and
yeah,
obviously talked a little bit about when you with your mom, that was quite a traumatic experience, obviously, with your mom actually dying during birth and having that. Does she come back? Does
yeah,
know it was a traumatic experience
yeah.
from the get-go, from you coming in, so you're facing challenges, you're facing a lot of darkness coming in. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I'm very blessed. My family is amazing. The energy that I've brought through is like beautiful to have to walk around with. I probably took it for granted a little bit, as in my younger years. I assumed everyone had this beautiful sense of harmony and balance and beauty. But it does come with its challenges and attacks and attempts to shut me down, whether it's obvious or subtle, in just like things that just happen.
There's a lot of anxiety with regards to you from the evil ones. What you are doing is undoing and unraveling millions of years of sabotage. And so I'm picking up on that around you. So this would mean that your life would have friction from the moment the egg and the sperm mixed, your fetal period, birth, childhood is non-stop.
So I was separated from my mother at birth. I was in a convent of nuns that looked after Catholic girls, with unmarried girls with babies who are pregnant. And so there was all that trauma, but it was also good because I got to stay connected to my Akashic lineage because I didn't have to land completely in my body immediately. And, there were other traumas that a lot of women go through, like a sexual assault. And I've been through cycles of, poverty and debt and awful physical illness that is incurable, or in the family line. So you're just stuck with it. But I'm like, nah, not happening. Not on my watch. Not for me. But still massive, attempts, to shut me down physically and emotionally, and with my mental health as well. Um, so uh, and also as I've come more and more into visibility, which I have in the last year or two, have been, actual concerted attacks by other powerful people to try and shut me down, because they want this, they want the information. And so the attacks would come both ways, of talking about me behind my back and trying to stop me from going to work in different places I've been contracted to go and teach the Akash, but being very nice to my face and give us the information. Yeah, no, until it, just goes on and on until eventually I say, I know what you're saying about me. I'm not giving you any more Akashic information. Or people just trying to co-opt who I am and try and make it who they are. Or people, or dark black magic coming in and affecting someone who's close to me, and me not realizing until it's completely in my body as well. I'm like, how do I get this out? How do I feel like I'm being shut down? My cells are turning to concrete. How do I deal with this? So then I have to call in other powerful allies that have, people, friends that have incarnated into a human body, but they have their full spiritual power with them. And so they're the type of people that can come in and assist and help me and provide me with clearing and protection. So yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, I have an incredibly strong frequency fence around me and around my community, my Sacred Akashic Healing Arts community and clients. But yeah, I'm, as Dr. Amir said, I cause a lot of anxiety to the darker energies, because it's a little bit like, holy fuck, she's come back. She's right here now. It's not a part, it's not of her, it's not a channel, it's her. It's the river of life, and she's not messing around. So, and I'm not the only one. There are other people that have come back with that great strength too, who suffer. The attacks just come back when you're going up to the next level of your awareness and your offerings and your mission and the new earth timeline. There'll be another round of attacks that you probably, if you're one of these people, you know them by now, and you're like, oh, here we go again.
Exactly.
I'm not going anywhere. Yeah,
Right. Exactly. And
yeah,
obviously, like you say, you're coming in, you're facing these challenges more than most because of who you are, and you're trying to be shut
yeah,
down. But you're so strong, and you've created all these amazing practices and sacred Akashic healing arts that create that
yeah,
protection. Um,
yeah,
and for one human body as well, it's a lot of energy that you're bringing in, and you have to hold. And obviously, I know it's a process of
yeah,
learning how to hold more and more of it. And so maybe you could share with the audience some of your practices, sacred Akashic healing arts, that help you
yeah,
hold that amount.
yeah. The ones I do regularly, yeah.
You're not meant to be in a human body. It's too tiny. It's too small. It can't handle it.
So there's a whole range. For a start, there's other people, as I've said, that, like, it's amazing to have the right assistants and healers around you, from body work to spiritual work to cleansing work to just who I have in my inner circle. is very, like, I'm very disciplined and strict about that. I can't mess with anything that's not really just in the right frequency. And then I also spend a lot of time in the Akash because it's who I am. It's it's it is literally what our whole existence is about, from separation out to source to coming all through all the way down into a body to leave records about what happens when you separate out from source. So it's the whole record that source wants, and we're at the point now of cleaning it all to retain the information, but to release the trauma, and also to rehabilitate Earth back to her creation coding and bring us all up to a new frequency. So it's the absolute best place for anyone to go and sort themselves out and support themselves, as well as retrieve the records of information that they need. And the ones that I use regularly are, I go up to, like, right up to Cosmic Akash a lot, because at the moment, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but in the last month or so, we've hit a big, like, void of darkness and clearing deep down energy, which is not necessarily bad, but it takes a lot of clearing, and it's like slipping down the ladder on snakes and ladders. Was it slipping down the snake? So I've been back at like, oh, this old pattern. So there's that level of it. And then if I've got smaller things to clear, I do the weaving of energy. You can go, one of the arts that I teach is that you can go into the Akash and you can change the energy of a particular issue. So some issues, some things you don't want in your life, some things you just want to change the energy of them, because you still want the relationship, you still want a roof over your head, you still want your body.
Yeah.
So, but it's distorted energetically in some way. So you can go into the Akash and recalibrate that and then place it back into your life. So it's like this incredible resource as well, where you can actually do work to upgrade things in that safe space and then pop it back in your physical incarnation. And you can also, I also, not so much these days, but when I was younger, I spent a lot of time going in there and meeting, probably myself now, meeting an older aspect of myself who had proceeded down her journey and succeeded in what my mission is, to bring the Akash in this way that I know it to the world. Because I just used to think, I just can't get there, like it's all too much. I'm not that person, like I'm not that strong. So I would meet this version of myself a lot, just to feel her energy. And I would also ask her, how did you get there? What do I need to be doing right now? But also just to feel my energy from now when I was younger, because it was just so beautiful. How it was for me. It was just really lovely. So, that's another really nice thing. And I know a lot of my clients go in or graduates go in and meet different aspects of themselves, whether it's the inner child that needs healing or the healer aspect. If they're wanting to be a healer, they meet the aspect of themselves that's a healer. One of my lovely graduates from years ago, she was pregnant. So she was very scared about childbirth. And she actually met, she was she met her son, so on the other side, born, and they were just chatting on a park bench. He was growing up, so it alleviated everything knowing that she got through childbirth. He grew up. He was a lovely young man. And those ones are super, super helpful. I often just open the Akash in the safe structure that I teach and go in at night time and ask for healing, and ask to meet different aspects of myself to assist me with different things. Every morning I do fire ceremony. The elementals, the elements are very, very important part of the Akashic Earth coding as well, of course, because we're on Earth. So I do fire ceremony every morning, and then I move on to doing my Akashic crystal weaving, grid weaving. So I create these beautiful crystal grids that are, and then weave them with Akashic energy. And I love that. It's like the Akashic arts are just, they're beautiful as well as powerful. I feel like it's so very important for everyone to understand the concept of beauty. And I don't mean vanity, I mean like beauty is really a very strong part of the spirituality, which is the consciousness, the energy of, you know, who we are, of our original creation codes that we've brought through. Even if we've brought through really wild, fiery codes, I'm, of course, water. The beauty of it is inherent in everything. So a lot of the arts, the Akashic arts that I do, are just very, very beautiful. The whole process is beautiful, and it's very reassuring, even for myself, my human self at the end of the day. What would be the most lovely thing I'd like to do now? Go into the Akashic. My beautiful rose quartz eye pillow on that one of my graduates sent me, and my 5 elements bag, and my recordings that I've created. Which once again, it's tough talking. It sounds so vain to say my recordings, but they're beautiful. I created them for people and to make it easy, and my graduates, and it makes it beautiful and easy for me too. So that's just how I live my life. And there's so many more, but that's just a few of the things that I do very regularly. I particularly love the crystal grids. Everyone who learns them, that's level 2 training, pretty much gets obsessed with them. A, because they're powerful, and B, because they just have such a resonance of beauty and grace about them. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And what you kind of demonstrated there, Valentina, and all of these, we'll talk about them, how people can access the Sacred Akashic Healing Arts and be a part of it. But you're showing it's a way of life, right? It's part of your being. It's not just something we do once. It's who you are, right?
Mm.
Focused on the
If
energy.
you want to be really connected to your wisdom and really clear energy and have that connection that can take you eventually right up to cosmic Akash and source, yeah, you need to understand that this is it. This is what we're about. It's
Right.
not just like, oh, that's interesting. It's like, no, this is it. This is the experiment from source. This is the conscious creation. It's all embraced by the Akashic fields.
Yeah.
So living that life, A, makes your life so much more beautiful and graceful and interesting, and B, really connects you like that right up through the akashas, back up to source in the most beautiful way without getting lost and attacked and split and
Yeah.
burnt, everything. Yeah. So abused, all of it. Like it's the best way to clear all those codings out. And they do still have to be cleared out. We're not at the stage where it's all perfect. We're at the stage where we're starting to clear the trauma. We've come as far as we can in the experiment of separating out from source. What's the result of that? A lot of amazing creativity and
Mm.
trauma.
Yeah.
So we're keeping the wisdom, we're keeping the records, we're keeping the creativity, and the sovereignty, but we're clearing the trauma.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. So I just want to make that clear for people that it's not an instant. It's not an instant fix. It's like we've got to go back and clear all those records now. But if you can get into these Akashic fields, which is like the holy grail of being able to go safely all the way back up to source, and be able to travel up and down. And you'll be at different stages for the people out there listening to it. For some of you, and there's no better or worse, it's just this is where I'm at. So for some of you, it'll be working on your Shakara system, and connecting to that invisible membrane, but you can feel it, the nature. That's your first step. Just clearing your own body, being healthy, working through your patterns that you've brought through in your DNA, human lineage, and working through what people call karma. I don't call it that, but coming back to work out this issue or that issue. And it's like, okay, okay, now I'm connected, because you have to connect that, clear that, and connect into the earth Akash that holds you. And then you can start connecting more to your light body, more to your higher self membrane that connects you out to your galactic Akash. And some of you might be thinking, oh, yeah, my life is chaos, but I can connect to my galactic self already. Um, yes, you can, but what I'm talking about is pacing it so you can get your safe elevator, so to speak, to be in, to do your journeying and to connecting out and coming back safely and not being under attack and things like that. And and I have the humanity of it too. I have to go back to the basics. I do Shakara clearing constantly. I'm out in nature in bare feet constantly. I'm out doing light body activations with sunrise all the time and sharing that with community all the time. It's not like, oh, I've reached a certain level and anyway, I'm the river of life. So
Who are you, lady?
yeah, like I'm this as well. I'm just the little human self that if she doesn't look after herself gets a sore I don't know, sore knees or a varicose vein pop up. That's my bugbear. Could this be happening to me? And I go, okay, yep, time to drink more water and get your bare feet out on nature. So, and maybe do a cleanse, you know. And some people are really good at that. And, you know, cleansing. I need to go and do a real cleanse, maybe a water cleanse for a week. Like, it doesn't change. It's not, there is no magic bullet, little thing you're going to live in that you get to a certain point. I mean, what's going to happen to that? Is that just going to be like a snow cone you put on the shelf? That's like it's got nothing to do with creation energy. It's constant contraction and expansion, and keeping that basic connection to your body and to the earth Akash, so that you can have the really clear, strong connections going out to the other Akashas, to your higher self, to your oversoul, to your I am self. And if you're, you know, if you're lucky enough at the right time, back to who your original creation energy is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
beautiful. That's it. It's a way of life, and yeah, we're living in
Yeah.
earth together, and there's our individual consciousness, our collective consciousness, and the more that we make this a way of life, and obviously it's fun and
Yeah.
connect to our wisdom more deeply, we can be on our path more firmly, we can be supported
Yeah.
so much more by all our higher aspects, by being in this way, being using the sacred Akashic healing arts, and keeping ourselves
Yeah.
clean and cleansed. But as we're each doing it, then collectively the consciousness is rising as well, and we're helping each other to rise up, and there'll be less clear, eventually there'll be less clearing to do. And so that actually brings
Yes.
up to my next question, because what do you see for the future of Earth?
Mm. Mm. Let's see. Let's focus in on the cosmic Akash, because we have opened that, and ask. Um, so for a start, I see many great creation lineages that have been on Earth in the creation times coming back, like the dragon lineages being seen again. And the tree lineages are already being recalibrated by a lot of work that you do, Corinne, because we all have sacred dragon lineages we're connected to, most of us, and tree lineages if we've had many lives on Earth, because one of the first civilizations was trees. And so there's more of that, all sentient beings uh, being able to communicate, being loved and respected. And there's this sense of equality between the deep ocean consciousness and the beings there, and the tree lineages and the humans, but the humans are like aware of all this amazing energy that they have within them, or are respectful if they're still on the journey of, just bringing in fairly basic coding because that's what they can manage at the moment, but really just grateful and respectful and aware that they've brought it through rather than I'm just here. Like, here I am. What's happening? Like really aware, like, oh, this is what I'm trying. This is the equations. This is the weaving I'm working with. And I also see a really amazing, strong frequency fence around Earth, which there already is, but there's just this incredible respect for Earth not to be used as a place to come and dump dark energies, or also as a place to come and sort of take what you want from it and use it for other things. That there's just this like baseline of respect for planet Earth from out there in the galaxy. And in fact, the whole galaxy is clean, I'm seeing now. And of course, I'm just bringing in the Andromedan to see if we've connected, because at the moment we're connecting and it's going to become one super galaxy called the Rose Galaxy. That's way in the future. That's not yet. But the whole galaxy becomes a really beautiful, healed fields of light place. And in fact, one of the first civilizations on Earth was just light, and we were trying to establish Earth as a light colony, or not colony sounds weird, but civilization. But we realized it couldn't work without a body. So one of the first ones was fields of light, and just light beings, but we couldn't really sustain life here. So we realized we had to come into a physical form and figure out how to do that, which was the original coding of what most people still bring in, is figuring out how to bring in light, which is the soul coding, into a physical body. But I can see in the future that the whole galaxy is full of all this beautiful light, healed light coding, and even beings and people that we can see that are quite dark in the current time space reality. A lot of them do end up becoming healed, and their true light coded self, and realizing that they're on a path. Whereas at the moment, their egos think they've reached a destination and that they're just looking for power and holding power, but they're just on a learning curve. So there's basically harmony and balance. And yeah, there's a lot of, the communication between all sentient beings, like animals, trees, wind, air, everything, and humans and with each other is, it's palpable. It's just very obvious and clear, is what I can see too. And there's just a lovely sense of being held on Earth because people can feel the crystalline grids and the earth grids and the dragon grids, and also the deep underwater energy. Like, so it's like you can feel the air when you're outside, but you actually feel the grids coming through your feet. At the moment, we have to tell people go outside barefoot and feel the energy of the earth, feel the grids connect to the magnetic energy to help heal your body. But it's almost like it feels in the future like levitating. It's people are still walking, but it's as if they're levitating because of the feeling of all these grids, energies communicating and connecting with them. And oh yeah, it just goes on and on. Like the communication from crystals as well is amazing. And uh, there's no power struggles. There's no need for power as we see it exhibited at the moment in the world. It's just like, just isn't there. And yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah,
Beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. It's quite unusual, the Earth, by the way. Like some people say, oh, there's lots of planets, there's lots of Earths, but there isn't. No, that's not what that's the cosmic, when I'm in the cosmic Akash, it's in other times, it's been very clear that this is incredible. What's here, what's managed to be created is, it's very unusual. Yeah,
I mean, I've heard
it's,
planet Earth talked about as the jewel planet, just exactly what you said, that it's,
yeah,
a special place.
yeah.
And
It really, really is.
sure.
You know, and we're just not giving it up. Yeah, it's just it has that special, special something that yeah, we're just not prepared to let it go and just be destroyed or taken over by darker energies.
Right,
Mm.
exactly. Yeah, that's such a beautiful visual that you described then, that feeling. I could really feel that, and I really connect to that, and I feel just exactly what you said will, really connect into the consciousness of nature, the animals, all sentient life, and we'll all be doing what we love as well. We'll be contributing in ways that light up our soul. So, imagine what life is going to be like when we can see the contrast of the earth that's being created as we've all been contributing for much of our lives in jobs that we hate, doing things just to pay the bills or whatever, and we can see what's being created. So I just think, imagine when we're all doing what we love and what lights up our souls, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because it spirals both ways. Like that will be amazing in the future, but also even now, I've noticed both in your life, Corinne, and mine, and with other people that we've, created the businesses and the lives of who we actually are. But now we're also not making sure it's just happening organically. We're being drawn back into community on a more basic level to assist and be present and help people in this way or that way. So it's not like you just like being in the zone of who you are isn't as exclusive as you probably think it is before you get there. Like it is this incredible, like, oh, feels so good. But it also, spirals back to connection on a very basic level with your community but not in a way of uh I have to be of service because that's what being a good person means. It's just like it just happens organically and naturally that you go back into assisting and helping people, and then you also got this incredible, you know, amazing world living, your life of what your mission is meant to be. But you're not like in this container that's only for the people that get it kind of thing. It very much works both ways. Once you hit that point, you're also drawn back into being there for your community on a more grassroots level as well. So, and both is good. Like you can hold your protection to get where you need to get. That's important too. And then it's something kind of relaxes and you get drawn back into the community and both just exist really beautifully together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine that's kind of a little bit of a feeling of, well, I'll ask the Cosmic Akash if that's what it's like. And they're saying, yeah, that's exactly what it's like. You're in community, you're in harmony and balance, you're helping each other, but you're so satisfied because you're really emanating and being who you are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Our connections to each other are deepening.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They really are. Um, and we're finding each other. You're like everyone's finding their people more and more too, which is a really lovely feeling. And um, mm, mm, peace, the peace that we feel right now,
Yeah.
peace and harmony and balance, and um, you know, it's paradise. It's not meant to be chaotic on Earth. This is a result of trauma, so we're clearing it. Mm. Yeah, the original coding or the original intention from source and the that I've worked with as a creation energy is harmony
Yeah.
and balance. So and compassion. So it's just a matter of clearing the trauma and being patient with yourself and
Yeah.
with those around you till we get there. Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we're getting there.
We are getting there. Um,
Yeah.
definitely. We're getting there. Okay, so how can people access the Sacred Akashic Healing Arts and what we've been talking about today?
Yeah. Okay. I've got it all sorted for you.
We're having
Uh, if this all feels like true in your alignment with you, I'm here for you. For a start, you can start with my website and my community, both called Sacred Akashic Healing Arts. And of course, you're already here on the channel, so there's lots of healing and tips, and you can ask questions and we'll answer them for you. So you've got this, you've got the community. Which is just amazing. And that's the kind of like, if you want a piece of this, if you want to feel the Sacred Akashic Healing Arts and be in a very protected New Earth container, you can follow the link to go in there and it's all in there. There's Akashic meditations, light body activations. We have sacred fire ceremonies that we run for you. And we also do just beautiful Akashic chats where we open the Akash and talk about different concepts and go to different places in history and in the galaxies. And you can book in with an Akashic practitioner. There's all sorts of wonderful Akashic temples in there. There's a Amir temple. There's Kurin's sacred tree lineage. There's my temples in there where I do amazing things like there's elemental temples, there's a sacred song, all sorts of like that's the place where you can be like, I just want to feel this energy. I just want to be part of it. I just want to receive healing. There's no strong impetus for you to do stuff. You just receive. And of course, you can comment and ask questions and post things if you want to, but most people just get in there. And we love it when you comment. Makes us feel good, of course. But most people are just really like, oh, God, it's so good to be here. So that's your base point is coming, and we've set it up like temples. So it's like coming to the Saha Temple complex. And of course, you can go to my website and book sessions with me when they're available. That goes up and down depending what flow I'm in. So at the moment, because I'm bringing in a lot of cosmic Akashic energy, there's a whole like impetus to bring this out to people. So I've made sessions available. So just check there regularly and see what's on. I'm one of the things I've mentioned, the dragon lineages and the tree lineages being so important as ancient original creation lineages on Earth. So I take people, I'm a dragon birthing mother, like being a river of life, creation energy, birthing is what I do a lot of in different things. So I'm a dragon birthing mother. And in that role, I take people, if you book sessions, I take you to your dragon lineage in the Akash, and there's a protector dragon tree there, and then we go into your lineage, and you get to experience what that is for you. And of course, I channel through the details for you. Another type of session you can book is your sacred tree lineage session, which is, oh my God, like it's always bigger than Ben-Hur. It's just like, oh, I haven't had a client yet that can't see and feel all of that in their sacred tree lineage. It's like, it's in us, it's in our bones. Like it's more recent. The dragons are very old lineages, but our tree history, when we were really connected to our tree lineages and really understood that we were birthed out of trees, that we're part of their creation, that's still in memory in us very, very strongly. So that's always like incredibly healing. I would say going into the sacred tree lineage area is as profound as when people first access the Akash. What? And that intense emotion that people feel, and that like intense feeling of being home and being connected. Um, or you can book other sessions that are just like whatever you want to ask. You might have a whole range of questions, or one particular thing like a health issue or a particular roadblock that you just want. Let's look at every aspect of it. So there's that level, there's mentoring, which is not available to the public at the moment. You have to have had a session or a few, and we just chat, we just talk about that. And when I have time and energy, that takes a lot of energy, I do the mentoring. And of course I teach. How could I forget that? That's probably the most important thing. So everything's run at my base, my headquarters, the temple complex of the Saha community. So that's where you come and hang out if this interests you. And then from there you can do, you can do the trainings. That's where I run them. You have to be a member of the community to access my trainings and the catch-ups and all that sort of thing that goes with it, the graduate catch-ups. And so we have level 1, level 2, shadow dream weaving. We didn't even talk about that today. Oh my God, that's a really essential part of what I do too. I'd be pretty much stuck without that and without the crystal grids sometimes in life. And level 3 is coming because all this new information about how to teach accessing the universal and the cosmic akashas, and more advanced aspects of the arts, I call them, the techniques in the akash are coming through, that it's time to start sharing them with people. So because people are ready, the vibration is high enough. People have done their clearing. Some of us have reached the new Earth timeline. Now there's a big ceiling that's been hit on the Earth where everyone's feeling this void, like, ugh, back to clearing the basic stuff, energy, but it's just because you're about to jump up. So many more people are ready to jump up into the new Earth timeline. So there's enough vibrational frequency to hold the teachings of the higher levels of the Akash. And it really is like the holy grail of understanding how to access how all of that works. So it all starts with going into the community. I need to teach it in a very safe space. So and we've set up, myself and some other beings have set up a very strong frequency fence in there. So that's it.
There's many ways to access it, and just like you said, Valentina, the community, which will be linked in the description, you get the first month free as well, so you can actually feel it out.
Yeah.
But in terms of the trainings, we're actually going to be releasing some videos from some of the graduates, so you can actually get a more of a feel for what the trainings are like in terms of
Nice. Yeah, good.
how you can integrate that into your life as well. So they'll be, and the
Yeah.
shadow dream weaving, we'll bring a separate video out on that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the bomb as well. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
amazing.
love everything about the Akash and what it teaches us about how to uh, clear the records in us so that it goes through our other Akashas as well. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Valentina. That's been absolutely incredible as always.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you so much, Corinne. You did so much holding of space for me today. Thank you to anyone who's watching as well. It's a lot to lay out, but it's important. Um, I think it's important for people to know as well. Yeah.
Definitely important. Yeah. So,
Mm.
right. So, do check out our other videos on the channel as well. And like Valentina said, if you do have a question or a topic that you want us to bring into the Akash, to our Akashic Detective segment or Akashic
Yes.
Hour, then, comment below and, we can hopefully take that into the Akash and bring through the wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Corinne. Mm.